like I can't wear red with this hair because I look like Spider-Man. Alright. Hey guys, so in today's video I actually wanted to do the AuthorTube Newbie Tag. So while I'm not a newbie on the Tumblr writing community, I haven't really made many videos on here. So if this is your first video of mine, hey, I'm Rachel, I write books. I am super excited to actually be making YouTube videos for writing, and while I don't post super often, making these are super fun for me, so I wanted to make a bit of an intro video just to say hi and stuff, and thought this would be the perfect opportunity. This tag was actually created by Jenna the Dark One, so all of her links will be down below. It's super exciting to be a part of this community, so thanks to everyone for being super welcoming and stuff. If you'd like to check out my blog, that will be in the description box because I post on there most of the time. So question 1, how did you find out about AuthorTube? So before I'd found out about AuthorTube, I'd watched a couple of writing videos, but back in 2014 when I started writing, but I didn't really get into AuthorTube until I accidentally stumbled across one of Shaylin Rice's videos at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I think it was her Create Space video, and for some reason I'd never really heard of AuthorTube until then, so thanks to Shaylin for introducing me to AuthorTube. And if you're watching this, you probably already know Shaylin, but if not, all of her links are down below as well. That's basically how I found AuthorTube. Since then I've been subscribing to different people and it's been super fun. Question 2, what genres do you write in? I write young adult, and in young adult I write young adult contemporary and young adult dystopian-ish. I'm not super sure what to call those. They're not really traditional dystopians, so they don't really have like a society or anything. It's kind of more like just really weird structure. I don't know what's going on with those books. The second question is, what is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category of story? So like I said, I do write YA, and I love writing in first person present tense. Question 4 is, are you a plotter, pantser, or plantser? And to that, I would say plantser, kind of. I don't really do a mixture of both on one book, but I do both. So the dystopian-ish series that I'm writing right now, I do pants that entire thing, but the other books that I write, I do fully outline, especially if I am going to publish them because it's just easier for me to edit that way. But for my personal project like that dystopian-ish series, I just pants them. And I started out pantsing and I still really like pantsing. That's the way I kind of work and the way I've always worked, but I've learned to kind of segue a bit into outlining just for the sake of my sanity when it comes to editing. Question 5 is, are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? I'm not published yet, so I guess that would count under yet to be published, but I am working towards publication with my young adult contemporary novel, I'm Disappointed, though I'm not sure how well that's working out. Question 6 is, what publishing company, literary agent, and or printing company are you represented by or use? If you're not yet published, what is your dream publishing house and or literary agent? I don't really have a dream publishing house or dream literary agent, and I don't really want to jinx anything by saying anything yet. I mean, I have a couple of people in mind, of course, that I would totally love to work with, but I'm just gonna keep my odds on the down low right now. Question 7 is, what AuthorTube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? So I already have a couple of videos up, but in the future I'd like to post a lot more outline with me videos. I have one up if you'd like to watch it. That was super fun to film, take you guys around while I outline my novel. I'd also like to create writing update videos if anybody would like to see those. I create writing updates almost daily on my blog, so taking it to video would also be pretty fun for me. But also on my channel are character speed paints because I'm currently learning how to draw, so I thought I would kind of mesh art and my writing together by drawing my characters. So if you want to check those out, those are actually already posted, and I'm going to be posting a couple more in the future and have already gotten some filmed. Question 8 is, when did you start writing? I started writing the summer of 2014, which made me 13 at the time. I'm currently 15 turning 16 in September, and it's June 22nd today, so I'm almost 16, so basically I've been writing for around 3 years. Question 9 is, what was the first story you ever wrote? The first story I ever wrote was terrible. I wonder if I can actually find it so I can show you. So this was the first story I wrote, and I actually thought it was a legit book. I wrote it, I think, in June of 2014 or around May. I think it actually has, yeah, May to June 2014. You probably can't see that, but I wish I wrote the actual date on it, but I did write May to June 2014. So I wrote this while I was in school, almost finishing the 7th grade. So it's a really bad story. It's actually not good at all, I'll be honest. This is the first page. It's so bad. I should share this on my blog. It's like this big. I thought this was like a legit book. This was my first book. So basically all of the mistakes that you would make on your first book, I made on this thing, and all of the other books that I thought were books, but they weren't. So in the summer of 2014, my twin sister actually came up to me and she's like, I kind of want to write a book. And I was like, I kind of want to do that too. So of course, you know me, I jumped on it really quickly and I didn't really take my time. Well, it says I drafted it May to June 2014. So I think I wrote it in maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks basically. And I was so excited about the story. It was so fun to write. I just finished reading Marie Lu's Legend, and was reading Prodigy at the time, the second book in the trilogy. So I was so excited and like I was really inspired by that story, so the words were just like flowing out of me super quickly. Meanwhile, I was just 12, I think, at this point. So the funniest part was I got my sister to read it and she read it really quickly because it's super short. The funniest part was I asked my sister how she liked it after and she was not impressed at all. It just shows like my sister is such a savage. Like, she's the perfect editor. She's amazing. All of her links will be down below. She also has a blog which you guys can check out, but she is so great at giving really concise feedback that might hurt your feelings, but it actually helps you in the long run. So that's my sister. It was really funny because she's just like exactly like that. It's just so go figures. We were like both 12 and I was like, I wrote this amazing thing. And she's like, no. I would not go back in time to change it because this thing is terrible. Like, I mean, nice notebook. That's all I have to say about this. Question 10 is, what authors have inspired your writing the most? So I have a couple of answers to this. For all of my earlier projects like this, Marie Lu was a huge inspiration to me. She wrote the Legend trilogy and I loved those books. I think that was my first time really loving YA and it was seriously such an amazing experience. I'd also say Stephenie Meyer in some cases. I'm gonna say that really tentatively. For The Host, not for the Twilight series. The Host is my favorite book by her and I think it's actually really excellent. I'm really sad that a lot of people don't read it because of Twilight. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Twilight, but I love The Host a lot because it's just such an amazing story. I mean, looking back on it, there are totally issues with it, but I think when I was younger, The Host was a huge source of inspiration for me in my writing and in my creativity as well. So that's another one. And bigger ones I would say are Alexandra Bracken, who wrote the Darkest Minds trilogy, and Jennifer Niven, who wrote All the Bright Places. Alexandra Bracken was just a huge inspiration for me. I absolutely loved her trilogy so much. That's basically where the Fostered series started brewing up. I was super inspired by that. Jennifer Niven's All the Bright Places is a book that always holds a super special place to me, and it really inspired I'm Disappointed, even though it's very different to I'm Disappointed. But those are just ones that I wanted to mention. Question 11 is, do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you can find the time? So if you follow me on my blog, you know that I write daily and I post writing updates daily, except the past couple of weeks it's not been daily for some reason. My goal every single day is to write 250 words. It's a really low goal just so I hit it and I can feel like I actually accomplished something, even though I write around, I would say, 2,000 words a day, but my goal is 250. Just for some reason it works really well for me. But I don't really have a specific writing schedule. I do prefer writing at night though. I cannot write during the day. It's a habit I really want to break. I just want to like start grabbing my laptop and like eating breakfast and writing. That's something I have yet to do, even though I've been writing for 3 years. During the school year, since I am a student, I have to write after school, and it's usually at around like 9 or 10 p.m. after I finish all of my schoolwork and stuff. Maybe I should like chill out a little bit. I think my work ethic is like insane, but you know, students probably can relate to that. You just have to kind of find time to fit in writing. Again, during the year, I would definitely try to continue this 250 word a day goal. It really helped during the school year to keep regulated on all of my writing. Question 12 is, do you type on a computer, typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those? And where do you write in general? So when I was younger, I used to write everything by hand. I wrote my first book, so this thing, out by hand, and then I wrote the second book out by hand as well, and I did that twice by hand. And then I started typing things after I transferred all of that stuff into my computer, and since then I've just been typing. But something I did a lot last year, not so much this year because I don't think I had as much time this year to do this, but during class last year I was a really bad person. And while my teachers were teaching something like super important that I should have been paying attention to, I was writing like on sheets of paper, and I actually have a folder of all of the writing that I did in school. This is the folder of all of the writing I've ever done in school, so it's like so much stuff that I had. I actually wrote like March 8th, 2016 geography class. Oh, this was a, like an outline or something that I was working on. Future me, is this chapter the same at all on February 3rd, 2016? Again, more dates, February 2nd, in English class. This one was really funny because I wasn't even paying attention at all. Like, this was science class, and I'm not a very great science student, and I was literally drawing on my thumb and stamping the paper. I promise, this was for my grade 9 year, I promise I'm a much better student now. And I don't do this, like, it's nonsense. So I have, like, so much of this entire page, like French class. What is this? French class. Planning scene for tonight. Oh, I was even planning my scenes that I was supposed to be writing while I was in school. French class, here we go. September 22nd, 2015. Please look loner. Okay. Art class, 2015. Yeah, I don't recommend doing this when you're supposed to be paying attention in class. It's actually pretty fun to go back and look at those little sheets of paper because there are a lot of scenes that I remember that I didn't actually know I wrote on pieces of paper, but that's what I used to do. Now it's just mostly typing, and I often bring my laptop to school if I need to write, and I finished all my work. I wouldn't recommend writing if you're supposed to be listening to a teacher talk, or if you are listening to a classmate talk, or just basically don't do anything that I did. That was a really bad idea. The last question on this tag is, what are you most looking forward to now that you're a part of AuthorTube? And it's definitely the sense of community. Community on Tumblr for writers is pretty nice, but I'm really excited about the AuthorTube community because it's super face-to-face and very close. I absolutely love the sense of, you know, being together with other writers. That's really awesome since I don't really know any other writers in real life besides my sister, so it's really fun to be able to branch out into a different part of the internet and just say hi and share a bit more about my books. So I think that's it for this video. If you'd like to learn more about me or ask me a question or just say hi, you can leave me an ask on my Tumblr ask box, which is down below, or you can tweet me if you'd like. Joining the AuthorTube community is super fun to me, and even though I don't post super often on here, I just love the sense of community I get every single time I do, which is just really fun. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. That's it for now. Again, my link to my blog will be down below, and hopefully I'll have another video uploaded soon. Yeah, so that's it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
St. Christopher, to find your sister. She ran